Okay, this is third grade and we're doing 7-3 today. We're practicing creating our own bar graphs, okay? So over here, what do we call this class? Do you remember now that we're in third grade? It was a tally chart, now it's called frequency what? We're going to call it table. Frequency table. Okay, so this is now a frequency table. You can get a frequency table information from a survey. That's when you ask people questions to get data. If we look at our tables and graphs this week, remember we're looking for the titles. When we create our own, we need to make sure that our title says exactly what's going to be in the table or graph that we're making. Okay? So this one says the number of people signed up for classes. Okay? So then I have my classes. I have chess, guitar, painting, and writing. Over here I have my tally marks. And then I have the number for these tally marks. So I have 6, 10, 7, and 9. Okay, so down here, we're going to take this information and put it on our own bar graph, okay? So what's my scale? Can anybody tell me what the scale is? Like, what are we counting by? Heavenly?
Tens.
Huh?
10.
What?
5.
No, look down here. Tyson?
1.
Ones, right? They're just going up by ones. So over here I have 6. These are pretty easy. So for chess, I'm going to find chess down here, and I'm going to go to this 6th line. I'm going to make this a little rectangle. Okay? And fill it in. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? Then for guitar, where do I need to go for that one?
10.
10, right? So I'm going to find my 10 mark, make another little rectangle. Now block it out. Goes over there. Can't go in. I'm going to color that one in. Now I got painting. So what do I want to put there? Lindy?
7.
7. So I'm going to find my 7 mark. Remember to follow along with me so you know what we're doing later. And then for writing, I got what?
9.
9. So here's my 9 line. Make a little. That wasn't too bad, right? So when we make these, we need to make sure that this is our data, and we need to make sure that everything's labeled. So down here it says classes, and it tells what kind of classes. Over here it says number of people, and then it has the scale, and then the top says number of people signed up for class. So we know exactly what we're talking about. Okay? You guys good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's roll. All right, these are pretty easy today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We are recording. I'm letting you know. All right, so here's our next. What was this called again? It's up there at the top.
Frequency chart.
Frequency
Table.
table. I call it chart sometimes too. It's okay. As long as you remember frequency, I think it'll be fine. All right. So again, we got to look at the label. It says favorite stores for clothing or clothes. So I have Dilmart, Jane's, Parker's. Much better this afternoon because we have a Parker, right?
Yeah.
And Trends. Okay. And so look over here. Do you see that I have 1 is a 5 in this column, the 1 is a 0, and another 5, right? So our laws of division means that we're multiplying by 5. They're all multiples of 5. So over here, they've already got our bar chart started for us. And you can see we're going up by 5. So our scale is 5. Nice. All right. They haven't labeled it. Okay? So I'm just going to put fave. Okay? Favorite stores. That's all I'm going to put. Maybe for clothes. Okay? You can put favorite clothing store. You can change it a little bit. We just got to know what the data means, okay? All right. So Dilmart has 15. Okay? Everything else is already labeled. So I'm taking Dilmart to 15. I'm making me a little rectangle. Coloring it in because it is a bar graph. So I've got to make a little bar. Then I have Jane's. How far am I going for Jane's?
30.
Going up to the 30 line. For Parker's,
20.
I'm going to 20. And for Trends,
5.
it's up to 5, right?
And Trend doesn't have anything.
It's not that big. It's not the favorite, right? So make sure you have your title and your bar sign, okay? Okay, we're gonna keep going. So you guys gotta flip over to the back. I'm gonna slow down. Okay, so now we're making our own graph. Okay? Now we don't have a tally chart, but we definitely have some data over there. So to start out, we're gonna need to make let's just make our working space here. Okay, so you make your working space on yours as well, okay? So remember, we need 3 different labels. We need to label our chart. So what are we gonna call our chart? Over here it says favorite kinds of movies, adventure, cartoon, comedy, science fiction, number of votes. So I'm just gonna call mine favorite movies. I'm abbreviating it. Okay? And then we gotta decide the scale because we're making it on our own. Now, 16, 7, 10, and 6, are those even numbers? No. But some are. So we can decide, do we want to do it by like maybe 2s? And then we could just make the one with 7 hit in the middle without a number.
Yes.
Want to try that? We could do 5, but then it's not going to be spread out very much. Okay? I did 1s this morning, and it took a lot of lines because getting 16 up there was kind of hard. Okay, so let's go ahead and label the bottom. We're going to put number of votes down here. I'm just going to put the number sign since we're doing this as our notes. Okay, if we were doing it for an assignment to turn in, you'd want to write the whole thing. I'm just going to use the hashtag or number sign for number of votes, okay? And then, I'm not going to put that there. I'm not. I'm going to put kinds of movies, right? Because I want my number of votes to go with skills. It's the camera. Makes me nervous. Kinds of movies. So over here, then I'm going to write number of votes. Okay, and we decided our scale's 2, right? So I'm going to put a line where I can put my types underneath. So I got adventure, I'm just going to put ADV. For cartoon, I'm just going to put cart. Comedy, I'm not going to write that all the way out because it's not that. And then sci-fi, I'm just going to put SF. Okay, you can do whatever you want on your notes. As long as you know that it's for this data right here. Okay, the labels. Alright? And so we decided that we're going by 2s. So how many lines do I need? For now?
2.
Just 2 lines?
Oh, not all.
1, 2.
No, not you 17. No, you do 15.
15 lines? 16?
No.
Wendy?
8.
Yes! I need at least 8.
8.
Because 2 times 8 is 16, right? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can't count the bottom one. So this is going to be my 0 line. So the next one's going to be
1.
I'll count my 2s. So 2, then what? 4, 6, 8, 10, 12,
14. 16.
16. Okay? So for adventure, I'm going to have to go all the way to the top, right? I'm going to make my square all the way to the top. Or my rectangle, I think you call me square. Rectangle. Squares have even sides, that's definitely a rectangle. Okay? For cartoon, that one's a tricky one. That one's an odd number. So where do I gotta stop, King?
We're going to put it between the 6 and the 8.
Right, I'm gonna stop it right here. Okay? Then comedy, Jackson,
10.
we'll go all the way to 10. And science fiction, where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Science fiction, I'm going to 6. Don't worry about it. Shake it off. Okay? You good? Alright. see? Do I have my 3 labels?
Yes.
Do I have my scale?
Yes.
I have a bar graph for each one?
Yes.
I'm good to go, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see if we can answer some questions with our graph we made. It says, which 2 kinds of movies receive about the same number of votes? Explain how you use your bar graph to find the answer. So which ones are really similar, Luke?
Cartoon and science fiction.
Right, how do we tell using our graph?
Because one's 7 and one's 6.
Right, and they're really close, even though my line's kind of slopey. Makes it a little bit better to see.
Yeah, my
Right, a little slopey. So we put cartoon. Do I have to do any math there? Huh?
No.
Why not?
Because it's asking you which ones are the closest.
Right. Because it's not asking how far or the difference, right? So I don't need an answer. But it doesn't say, explain how you use your graph. So you could say, I use my graph. Ooh, it looks like a leaf. Graph to see which bars are almost even. Right? All right, now number 8 you need to pay really close attention to because we have a question on Savvas that's almost exactly like this, except for tickets it's going to use CDs, and it's a 2-part one. So that means you got to do 2 steps before you get the answer, okay? You with me? Okay. Number 8. Okay. Each movie ticket costs $8. That's important, right? JoJo buys tickets for the number of people who voted for science fiction. How much change does she get from $50? Okay, so how many votes were for science fiction?
6.
6, right? And how much was each ticket?
8. 6
8.
8.
Right, so I gotta go 6 times 8. So I have 6 tickets times $8 equals 6 times 8 is
48.
48. What? $48. And how much money did she give them? How much did she give the cash? She gave 50. So now what do I gotta find for change? Heavenly? What am I gonna do?
Miss Moore, the difference in 48 is like,
Can't see it.
I can't see it.
You know what it is, though, right?
It looks like
My money's I got close to my 48.
it looks like 18.
Better? Heavenly, what do you think? You want to phone a friend? Anybody else know?
I said,
Oh, Lindy, go ahead.
you just count how much more dollars you need to get to 50.
Right, you could count up 49, 50, right? So we would know that it's $2, or you could take 50 minus 48. Make sure you regroup there because you can't take 8 with 0. Okay. So $2 is your answer. Good job. Okay, we got just a couple more to do. Oh, you're gonna be happy you did it. So this will just be super quick.
Is 2 questions?
Yeah, it's just a few.
One question was, it was two questions.
It's one of those multi-choice. Okay, bring it back. All right. Higher order thinking. This means you got to use your brain. Suppose you're going to make a bar graph to show the data in the table at the right. What scale would you choose and explain? Okay, so let's look. It says speed of birds, so the kind of birds. Okay, and then I have how fast they fly per miles per hour. So if you were going to make a scale for that, what would you use? What would each line be worth? Wendy? There's not a wrong answer. Let me start with that. There's not a wrong answer. You just have to be able to tell me why you chose that one. You could do 50, right? If you did 50, would you have to go very far? You'd only need like 3 lines, right? Maybe 4 for the top for 200. It might not be spread out, but you could do 50 and you could say that You're doing 50, so the graph isn't very big. Who else has got a guess? What will they do? Luke?
10.
You could do 10s. You're going to do quite a few, right, though? Because you're going to have 18 lines, but that's still not too bad. King?
20.
You could do 20s. You'd have to go like a fourth of the way up between lines to get your 5s in there. Yep.
5.
You could do 5s. You're going to need quite a few 5s, though, right?
You're going to need 36 for the 180.
You're going to be a lot.
We're going to need 180 for the ones.
You could do 15s, right? You're not going to need a ton there. Yep.
You could do 1s.
You could, but you're going to need a really big piece of paper,
Oh,
right?
you need 181s.
So if you said you were going to do 1s, you would have to say, I'm going to do 1s because I'm using a really big piece of paper.
Yeah.
Okay? The book suggests 30. Okay? So they said they would use 30 as the scale. Okay? And they said by using 30, the scale wouldn't be too large and all the data would fit. So you could use whatever you want as long as you can fit it on your paper, okay? And you can rationalize it, all right? We're moving on because we have a couple of questions like this today on our actual work that we're going to do for grade. Okay, so we need to look at this. Look at this chart down here. Before we look at the answers, remember, always look at your chart. So I got a title. It says friend shoes, right? Number of friends, color of shoes. So something's missing. What's missing? Real?
Color or orange.
Yeah. It's like, why didn't they put that there, right?
It looks like yellow.
It could be yellow, orange, whatever you see. What's our scale down here? Real? 2, right? So in between, what's that mean?
1.
It's like it's going to be the odd, right? 1, so this would be 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now you don't have to put those in there, but I've already looked at this ahead of time and I know you need it, so I'm putting them in there. Okay, so how many friends wore pink shoes? Does that show any pink or do anything? No. So this question's, it's out of here. We're going to eat it, right? The color of shoes with the longest bar. Does it already tell us that? It says which information is needed to complete the graph. I already know that, right? It's black. So that's not out of here. The color of shoes worn by exactly 8 friends.
No.
Those are labeled. No, thank you. The color of shoes worn by exactly 7 friends.
Yes.
Which one is that?
Yellow.
Orange. Whatever you're seeing, okay? So you're going to have some questions like that today where, hold on, where the graph isn't filled in and it's going to say, what does that represent? So it might ask you what the number is or it might say what the color is. So just be aware of that, okay? You good?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys at home soon.